And a lot of times the woman even is like, wow, I really liked him in the beginning. I don't know why this happened. I don't know why I don't feel attracted to him anymore. So this is what you have to understand. Never under any circumstances ever tell a woman how you feel about her ever. Never say, I'm in love with you. Never say any of this stuff, okay? Never do this ever, because here's what I can tell you. Most people, okay, this is like the worst narrative that you're going to get, okay? The worst narrative you're going to get is she'll appreciate it. This is not true. But let's go even deeper, right? Let's say you're a little bit aware of how dating works. There's a lot of people that will say, oh, if you tell a woman your feelings towards her, she will use it against you. This is what they'll say.
Casey. Hey, look, guys, welcome to Dark Arts Podcast, where we help you guys navigate the field of manipulation and problematic dating. You understand what I'm saying to you? Hey, yo, let's not play with it. Let me have a real conversation with you guys. Listen, I did a part 1. I broke it down. Let me give you a part 2. Can I be honest with you? This is bad advice. Casey, I like you, man. Some of your stuff is good, but this is bad advice. Let me tell you why it's bad advice. Because it deals with a particular type of woman. Number 1. Number 2, it doesn't talk about healthy strategies to have a healthy relationship. Okay? Healthy relationships are when we are able to identify what our actual needs are, first and foremost, in a relationship. Needs versus wants. Needs are what we need in terms of to make a satisfactory, happy relationship. What do you need? Most of the things are intrinsic. They are values and they are characteristics of the individual person that we require in our life. For instance, a man may need a woman who's kind, compassionate, caring, who knows how to submit, serve, who offers words of encouragement. These are intrinsic values. Now, what does he want? He might want a baddie. He might want somebody who's blonde and sexy with blue eyes, or he might want someone who's black, beautiful, bodacious, bootylicious. God have mercy. Who's fine, right? But those are wants. They're not needs. What you need is somebody who's got the internal characteristics, okay? Now, looks are also important to that. I think attraction is very important for men, so I would say that's in the need aspect. But you don't need a 10. You know what I'm saying? You need someone who you're attracted to. That's different, okay? Now, here's the important thing about this, right? Never telling a woman, by the way, he kind of categorized it by saying never tell a woman 1 month, 1 year, and a wife even. Never tell her you love her. How would that promote a healthy type of relationship? First, you would need to define what a healthy relationship looks like. Well, we look at this from 1 Corinthians 13 in the Bible, gives us a definition of what love is. Love is kind. Love is pure. Love is enduring. Love doesn't count no wrongs. Love doesn't boast. It doesn't get quickly angry. Okay, you know what I'm saying to you? And I think there's a few others I've probably forgotten. It doesn't envy or jealousy. And so you need to understand that in order to understand what love is, you need to define it. And so the question is really as well, would you want a woman that wouldn't tell you that she loves you? Would you want a woman that wouldn't kiss you? Would you want a woman that wouldn't touch you? Would you want a woman that also played the exact same game you're about to play with her? You see, we date people based on mirrors. 2 things. Either they have something that we want, that we like, or they have the same characteristics we have, and we're mirroring each other. So when you start not telling her you love her, by you saying you're not going to tell her you care about her, etc., right? My question is, what part of you responds to that? Is that how you are? Do you want the same treatment that she's going to give you? You see, the Bible says that the man is the head of the home and the woman is the body, right? The man is the head and the woman's the body. And what happens is this. Does the body feed the head or does the head feed the body? No, can we say it again? What feeds who? Does the body feed the head or does the head feed the body? If the body is out of shape, why is it out of shape? Because the head has been eating probably too much, and the mind has not also put the body into subjection to be able to respond, say, we're going to work out now. And so the body won't be in shape. So what does that mean? The man is the lead, and whatever you give is what's going to get back in response. So if you're not going to give no love, if you're going to tell your wife, you're not going to tell your wife you love her, your partner that you don't love her, if you're going to play these games where you're going to, try and be cold and callous and be calculated, then my friend, guess what you're going to receive back in the end? That same kind of woman. You're not going to receive a warm, loving, tender-hearted, kind, compassionate, serving, submissive woman, because you're not given that energy of a good leadership. How can she learn from you in a good way? In fact, women are going to learn. They are going to learn from you. They're going to learn that cold, callous, in that calculated way that you're behaving, they will learn it too. And guess what? When it's done back to you, would you be okay with it? That's why it's bad advice. That's why it's bad advice. A farmer cultivates A husband cultivates a wife. A man cultivates a woman. And so you give her what you want to see in return. You can't give her completely different to what you want to receive. If you're saying you want her to be loving and caring, and yet you are cold, callous bastard, and I use that word from the Bible, bastard. Okay, all right. How is she going to give you anything but what you gave her? Do you see the problem here? Right, it's really bad advice. So let's go into some of the comments that he had, which I think are quite interesting. Right, some of the comments that he had. I think it's, this we're on Dark Arts. Okay. So here's Honorworks. Small said, this is 100% accurate. I'm 43, very experienced with women. I've been a star chasing women to my late 30s and a married man for the 5 years. And this always holds true. It was true in the 90s when I was growing up, come up, and it's true today. I was around in the Middle Ages, but it was true then. This is female nature. And if you're a blue pill guy who believes in soulmates, keep on doing that and let me know in 10 years how this works for you. My friend, you've only been married for 5 years. Wait till if you are doing exactly what Casey just said, not telling her you love her, I'm telling you now, you're going to find out like most men do and complain about the fact that divorce rates are at 80%. Why divorce rates are at 80%? Not because we don't tell them we love, not because of blue pill, but because men, number one, being desperate is not good. But number two, also, the fact that you don't show affection or care for your partner. Right? Women want to feel appreciated, my guy. Just like you want to feel appreciated. Right? If you wouldn't do it to you, why would you do it to them? Just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying to you? And you've been playing the game for the last, up until the end of your 30s. Right? The question is, what kind of woman did you get? Did you get also the same toxic woman that you've become? Right? Because if you're playing these games, it's toxic games. Right? Withholding affection is a part of the toxic game. And so what you realize is this. If that woman is willing to accept you withdrawing your affections, what kind of woman is she? Because if she was healthy, she'll tell you, listen, that doesn't work for me. Okay? All right? There was another comment that came up. So he said, love, as experienced by a man, is a trick of nature to get him emotionally attached and invested in a woman to take care of her and their offspring. Love, as experienced by a woman, is to emotionally attach and bond with that man just long enough until the child can walk on its own. This is why you typically see serial monogamy just a few years, and then she's on to the next guy to repeat the process. Regardless of whether they have a child or not, she'll start to feel something is wrong and start to sabotage a relationship in some way in preparation for her exit. The man is designed to be used, discarded, unfortunately, but that's how we're designed. So this love, he feels, is really there to mask the true quality of female nature. Is it? Because what's the true male nature? Just to implant his... See, we always want female nature. What's the true male nature? Just to embed his seed, have sex and move on, right? Procreate and move on. Because he can do it as many times as he wants. His job is just to propagate the earth and populate the earth. That's it. Right? But the reality of the situation is, what he's mentioned here is exactly what I'm talking about. Right? This whole love is a trick, it's a game. It's love isn't real. Women use it just to discard men. You're talking from your broken perspective. You're talking about from a fear state. Right? And that's the whole point. It sounds very fear-like the way you're discussing the topic. All right? Because if you have experienced a healthy relationship, why does that woman want to discard you after that child is a few years old? Why is it that some people are not actually discarding? Well, if that's the case, why is it there's some women who are in relationships and they ain't discarding their man after having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, but they're discarding you? There's a reason why. Maybe you need to do self-reflection and internalize reflection and see what's actually gone on, rather than looking at saying like this is the absolute truth, right? Okay. One of the other points that came up. That was really powerful as well. Okay, look, this is one here. I tried this theory and Casey's 100% right. I told a girl I have feelings for her, met her like 3 times. She was so into me at first, and when I didn't care about her, she wanted to see me all the time. Okay, bingo. Suddenly, when I told her I have feelings, a flip switched, and boom, now she's having fun with someone else. Okay. She looked at me as friends now. After some time, I didn't even care about her, and now suddenly she's liking my photos on Instagram and sending me random snaps. Trust me, boys, don't tell the woman what you feel, even if you think she's into you. Take this from a guy with 100 body count. Thanks for reminding me again, Casey. First of all, you got 100 body count, my boy. Okay? You're probably not serious yourself. If you're trying to smash, it's exactly what you're talking about. It's why I said it's not for healthy relationships. Okay? Now let's break down what the person just said. Okay? He said, I told a girl I had feelings for her, met her like 3 times. She was so into me at first, and then when I didn't care about her, she wanted to see me all the time. Well, that's very interesting. When you were unavailable, she wanted you. You know what that is? Emotional unavailability. And you know that a lot of people are emotionally unavailable and will choose partners who are emotionally unavailable to date or to play around with. Suddenly, when I told her I have feelings, a flip switched, and boom, now she's having fun with someone else. Well, guess what? She wanted to have what? Fun. And when you stop being fun, she went on to the next one. You know why? Because she was not serious, my guy. Okay? You're not serious about a relationship. So she moved on. Because when you decided, it sounded like you were trying to get serious. And yet she wasn't serious. So she moved on because that's not what she wanted. So she looks at me like friends now. After some time, I don't even care about her. And now suddenly she's liking my photos on Instagram. You know what that is? That is somebody who blows hot and cold, who doesn't actually really know what they actually need in a relationship. They like the attention that they're getting and their ego is being fed. That's a toxic, dysfunctional type of individual person. And guess what? You one of them too. Because you like responding to it. And instead of you being healthy and going, this doesn't work for me, this actually is not what I actually want, you're responding to it. So if you respond to it, by all means, go and play in the mud with the pigs as well. And then don't complain after and say this is how women are. That's not how women are. It's how toxic women and men are. If you're just trying to smash, then this is perfect. Okay? And the last one that I want to point is... this one here said, last mistake I made with a girl taught me this in the final lesson. I've been away. A girl kept responding to my story posts, either liking or commenting. 3 times she asked when I'm coming back. So very high interest. I am back. She contacted me immediately to meet up. We did 2 more times. One, I clearly said dinner date. And when I was leaving again, I deliberately tested and said, when I'm back, we do more dates. She goes, dates? Thought we were just friends. Then she pulled back. And pulled back. And pull back. Now past 2 days, she's blown me up again. You know what this is? Unhealthy women. See, when a woman really, really likes you and she's healthy in her behaviors, right? She actually knows how, she actually is able to maintain the interactions between you and her. When women are unhealthy and insecure attachments, okay, all right, they don't know how to attach very well in a relationship because there's been some childhood trauma and emotional neglect. Okay, chaos in the background, abuse, something like that. You'll find these women have a common strand. And what you'll realize is this. It's usually avoidant women that do this kind of game where when you show them interest, they then pull away. When you pull away, they now pull in. That's usually what we call the FA or the fearful avoidant. And sometimes this is dismissive avoidant women where women who see that you're interested in them and pull away because it's too much intimacy. It's too much for them. And when you back off, they deactivate and they're like, okay, I want it again. Right? These are women that are unhealed and are not for you. But if you're not healed yourself, right, you will play these games. The reindeer games. Right? But when you're healed, you have a certain level and an expectation and a baseline of what kind of behaviors you expect to do and what you expect from other parties. And when people don't match it, you go, that's not for me. Sorry, it's a filter system. I can't play that game with you. I like somebody who's got good, consistent communication. If you're not going to do that, that's not for me. And you weed out women like that because they can't commit, because they can't keep the consistency. See, your consistency will weed out their inconsistency. Your love will weed out the people who can't accept love and who can't give it. Right? Your ability to acknowledge, appreciate, and affirm will weed out people who can't affirm, appreciate, and acknowledge. See, what you bring to the table is that when you are that wholesome cake, people who are not wholesome can't stay around long enough around you. They got to flee, or they got to rise to your level. You see what I'm saying to you? When you're vulnerable, the person thinks they got you. No, you got them. Because it's the moment that you take advantage of my vulnerability, I now know who you are. And I don't have to give you a chance again. Alright guys, like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys. Still locked, still loaded. We'll see you again very much soon.